Pony in Hyrule by Pushi2009. Chapter 6. They enjoyed the rest of the day together, seeing the sights, meeting some of the Zoras and other stuff. "Ah, there you are," Vi and Fluttershy heard a voice say. "We've been looking all over for you two." It was Green. He was with Twilight. "Where are the others?" Vio asked. "They're in the hotel. It's getting late, you know," he said. "Yeah, alright. Come on, Flutters." She had been explaining to him about the elements of harmony and the purpose in their dimension. "Wow, that must be pretty easy," Vio had said. "Every time an evil monster shows up, a few girls walk up to it and wear some jewellery. That's like a walk in the park for Hylians," he had said. The hotel was amazing. The entrance hall had blue crystals patterned on the ceiling. The floor was covered in a royal red carpet. Huge ice sculptures of Zoras flanked their entry. The walls glistened with the reflections of small, decorative pools. It looked like the entire thing was made of glass. "Room for 8, Green said, approaching the check-in desk. "Yes, sir," the Zora replied, and walked through a door on the other side of the desk. "This place is amazing," Fluttershy said, awed. "It sure is nice," said Applejack. "My, if Rarity was here," Twilight said, staring at the ice sculptures. "Room 115 is free, sir. Third door on your left on the second floor," he said, coming back in. "Thank you," Green said. Of course it had to be 115, didn't it? Point of view. Vio. I waited until the movement and sound stopped. I got out of bed and pulled it out of my pocket. Now that I look at it, it seems older than it had last time I saw it. It had dust all over it. I flicked a small spider off the front. Sighing, I lay it down on the desk next to my bed. I light a candle to see it properly. "Edward Steiner, eh?" I said to myself. I flicked through 2 pages, hoping to find what I need. "Should be somewhere at the back," I said to myself. "Here we are," I said. "Castle Town? That makes everything much easier." I close K115LW. Weird name for a book, but I guess he is insane. As I place it in my pocket, I hear a voice coming from the opposite end of the room. "Vio!" It was Twilight. She whispered loud enough so I could hear her, but not enough to wake the others. "What are you doing?" I sighed. "If you must know, I'm looking for a way to get you back to Equestria. I don't want any of you to go back, but you don't belong here, and it was my fault, so I should be the one to send you back," I said. I really didn't want Fluttershy to go, none of them. But then I thought of an idea, a crazy idea, a ludicrous idea. "I think I know who can get you back," I said. "He's called Edward Steiner. He wrote the book which I found the spell in. Surely he should know." I hoped my idea would work. I've got a lot of unfinished business in that place. "You speak of this Steiner as if you know him, do you?" Twilight said. She was smart. "You're smart," I said, being able to tell emotions just by the voice. "But yes, I know Steiner. An old friend. Met him during my adventures. Bloody insane, he is," I said. "So, do you know where he lives?" she said. I do now. Point of view. Third person. "Man, that was a great day yesterday," said Blue, yawning and getting out of bed. "Yeah, awesome," Green said. "I'm so grateful that you forgive me after what I've done," he said. "Oh, honestly, it's fine. You were just stressed," Twilight said. "Yeah," Green said. "Hey, where's Vio?" Red said. Vio's bed was empty, and it looked like he had recently got out. "Oh, I hope he's okay," Fluttershy said, worriedly. "It's fine. I'm sure he's okay," Green said. "What's for breakfast?" asked Red. "Bacon sandwich," Blue said. He always had a bacon sandwich for breakfast. "Let's get some food," Red said. Could you girls look away for a sec, just while we get dressed?" Green said, looking awkward. "Okie dokie Loki," said Pinkie Pie, excited as usual. They turned their backs and the boys quickly got dressed. Okay, you can look now. No peeking. Green said. They walked down the stairs and into the dining hall. It was very large. Tables lay dotted around the hall. Whoa, this place sure is fancy, Applejack said. Yes, look at all these amazing sculptures, said Pinkie Pie. They sat down at a table, and a waiter came almost immediately. May I take your orders, sir and Mrs.? he said. Bacon sandwich for me, Blue said. Tuna sandwich, thanks, Red said. Just some toast, please, Green said. Oh, do you have a daisy sandwich, sir? Twilight asked. Yes, ma'am. The waiter said. Oh, just that then, please, she said. Same for me, Applejack said. Oh, me too, said Fluttershy. Me three, Pinkie Pie said. The waiter glided off towards the kitchens. They laughed and joked over breakfast. When they had finished, they stood up and went back to their rooms. All right then, we should go now, Red said. It's been great going out like this. I haven't been out in ages, he said. Don't we need to find Vio first? Says Fluttershy. Yeah, it's a good idea. We should ask a reception. They walked back into the entrance hall and asked the Zora if he had seen Vio anywhere. He told them that he had left 20 minutes ago. Cheers, Green said as he walked towards the doors, the others following and opened them. Ugh, where could he be? Blue asked, not expecting to get an answer. I'm right here, a voice said from behind them. They jumped and turned around. Vio, where have you been? Green asked. Twilight looked slightly guilty after their conversation last night, but looked fine otherwise. Oh, just looking around, he said. Just meeting up with Macau, you know. Haven't seen him in ages, Vio said. Okay, let's go, Green said. It was an uneventful journey back to the house, compared to the one on the way there. Green opened the door, and they walked inside. Whoa, I'm tired, Blue said. Yeah, me too, said Red. They chilled out for a while at the cottage. Red was busy making cupcakes with Pinkie Pie. They were both very good cooks. Vio had been thinking about it all day and had finally come to a decision. Guys, I'm just going to nip it into town for a bit. I'll see you later, he said, looking slightly guilty and backing out of the living room. Twilight looked up from the newspaper she had suspended by magic in front of her. She was very interested in humans, and since Vio said he was trying to get her back, she may as well tell Celestia all about them. She fixed Vio with a very suspicious look. I want to come as well, she said. Do you? Said Vio, not looking at her. Yes, I do, she said. Twilight laid the paper down on the armchair as she rose. Vio opened the door and they walked outside. I know what this is about, Vio, she said as they walked across the field towards town. Look, Twilight, you want to go back, don't you? You all want to go back, right? He said. I'm just really fascinated by this world. Could you tell me how things work around here? She said. Vio really didn't know if she was changing the subject or not. She had answered his question, but had moved on to a completely different topic. Oh well, Vio thought. What kind of things? Vio asked her. Well, relationships, you know. Her voice trailed off slightly, and she looked away. Well then, I won't tell anyone, Vio said, trying to keep a straight face. But on the inside, he felt like his brain was going to explode from laughter. Green, she said. But he tried to kill you, Vio said, surprised. Yeah, well, I think I forgive him, she said. There was a very awkward silence. Let's just pretend we never spoke about that, okay? She said. Agreed, Vio said. Castle Town had grown a lot in the past few years. Many new houses and shops had opened off the main square, but Vio and Twilight's destination was away from the busyness and noise of the square, and down a dark alley the two went. This should be it, Vio said, looking at a shabby, cracked door in the side of a large brick building. The door read, Room 24, keep out, the door said. You really think he lives here? Twilight said, looking incredulously at the door. Yep, Vio said. He knocked on the door. No response. He knocked again. Nothing. Hang on, he said. Lassen Sie mich ein! Et braucht dich vor etwas wichtig, Vio shouted at the door. Vio, sind Sie das? Came a voice from inside the door, making Twilight jump. There was some movement from behind the door. The door opened and there was Steiner. He had short black hair and a large scar down his right eye, all the way to his mouth. Vio, so good! His smile seemed fixed on his face. He was staring at Twilight, his expression fixed. His left eye twitched slightly. They stood there for at least 10 seconds. Are you okay? She asked him. Steiner suddenly exploded with laughter. Ha ha ha! Ja, Vio, what have you done? This is wunderbar! Ha ha ha! He said. Okay, Ed, that doesn't matter. What does matter is K115LW, Vio said. Edward invited them in, still laughing at Twilight. His house was small, only with a small table and a few chairs around it. There were no windows. Just why do you have und pony visio? He said. I'm here about her, and the other 3 ponies back at my place, Vio said. You have more of these? Edward asked. Well, yeah, but I'm here to get them all back to their home, Vio said. Ja? Und where might that be? Steiner said. Equestria, Vio said firmly. Equestria? Ed said. Equestria, Vio said. Well, I do know a way to send things there, Edward said. You do? Vio said. Well, yeah, I could do it right now. Vio sighed and put his hands over his face. They could go right now. Right now. What do you think, Twilight? Vio asked her. Well, I'm ready to go now, she said. Vio's insides turned. If Twilight went, then that meant her friends did as well. Applejack, Pinkie Pie and Fluttershy. They were bound by the elements of harmony. If one of them went back, they all would. That must be how the others came to Hyrule as well. But what about the other 2 elements of harmony? Shouldn't they be here also? But what if they already were? Vio thought. So then, are you going back to Equestria then? Edward asked. Yes, I am, she said. Guess I'll go tell the others, Vio said gloomily.